April 15, 2023, Marcus Giovanni here. Kelly Brough is no super administrator mayor by Marcus Giovanni. You know, if she didn't have Ballotpedia and some of these other media people, uh, stacking her rankings up on the internet for search. Like when it comes to my name, Ballotpedia has used techniques that we know that other people use to talk about one person while using another person's name that's buried somewhere in the conversation, and with certain Google. I don't want to see, how do I say this? Well, I don't want to say that, but with just certain things that you can do with symbols, you can actually bury a person. So when you Google search you Google search my name and Kelly Brough comes up, because that's manipulation. And that's what Ballotpedia does, from Wisconsin. Her name's Leslie Graves. She is a PISA and getting all kinds of money, manipulating elections all around the United States, all in the name of being nonpartisan, 5013C. And I hope the IRS shuts these people down. Same with Wikipedia. They're big corruptors of our democracy here in Denver, and I've been indexing them for now, 13 years, 14 years. So it takes a long time, man, to get things going the way they need to be, because people have to come out of the closet. And what I mean by that is, just like with Kelly Brough, whatever. Denver Chamber of Chiefs Political. Here it is, right here. This is 2009. We wrote content on that when that article came out. And I remember everybody talking about her running for mayor, especially in 2011. That's when I knew. When I met them at the Denver Chamber of Commerce. And so they were trying to get her to run kind of earlier, but she wasn't at the helm long enough, and they didn't think they could beat Meyer Hancock, which she wouldn't have. But when you think about David Kenny, and I made a comment that he's brilliant, because that's a conversation I had with some other people. I don't even know the guy. Okay, so I just repeat what people say, and so when I do that, it brings up the content. Here it is, right here. Loser City, Denver. It's all right here. When you understand how to read sideways and downwards, Loser City, Denver. Chamber of Commerce. Chief political person. Smiling all the way to the bank. She made $474,000 a year. And you know what? I was telling somebody, if a 501(c) wants to pay their people millions of dollars, and more money's going to administrative fees than going to help anybody in the community, good for them. You're beating the system. And that's what Denver does. They beat the system. They want to be city and county of Denver and the city and county of Denver. And if they did that, they should have went and registered trademark city and county of Denver, but they can't, because it's a all-purpose, general-purpose name that anybody can use. Because if they did that, nobody would be able to use city and county of Denver. And that's just, you couldn't do that. That's why they didn't do it. But to refer to our government, it's the city and county of Denver. So all the information at denvergov.org, which should be denver.gov, they've been manipulating stuff, but they're going to find out themselves. I'm just here to warn them, because that's the kind of person I am. Hey, you're about to go into the dark web. Hello, Miss Smiley. Hey, pig with red lips. Obama, that's what, you can put a lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig. And when you think about David Kenny and being behind Hickenlooper, and then when Hickenlooper would get in $100 million, then what did David Kenny arrange the deal for her to get that job at the Chamber's office, and leaving Hickenlooper holding the bag of $500 million deficits? But since we're able to balance our budget by law, there doesn't show those deficits. And the only reason we find out is by the media and/or, which you don't. There's not one media that ever talks about Denver's being a $100 million. Michael Hancock had a $200 million deficit, folks. $200 million. Where did that money go? Nobody asks any questions. But see, AI knows. Artificial intelligence knows everything. And what Kelly thinks she's going to do if they manipulate the elections, and you say, well, how do you accuse them of manipulating an election? Because when I took them to court, February 6th, courtroom 414, and Judge Andrew Luxon, and if you look up what his experiences are, and when I mentioned in court about the Spear Amendment, because my argument, my complaint was that they've been manipulating the elections for 60 years, and Assistant City Attorney Michelle Horn blasted with glee, I may add, we haven't enforced that law in years, and she openly testified that they don't follow the Spear Amendment, which was made by Honorable Mayor Robert W. Spear, who used to be a Democrat, and he knew what a partisanship government would look like. And so here's where we're at. So when Kelly gets this job, or Mike Johnston, which Mike Johnston should get it because it's just new. Like, look, Kelly, just go away. When Kelly can only show a snowplow job to where she's snowplowing, that tells you she has no platforms, no ideas, and if she's getting it all from David Kenny, then he should have just ran for mayor, because now the colluding between these two, Denver should worry about. Everybody worried, and this is funny because they all say Michael Hancock and all his friends. Not Leslie, but Kelly is Michael Hancock on steroids. And she will not have any problem quitting, walking away if somebody offer her a better job. But see, being mayor, she can't quit. And so that's the good news. She can't quit. She can't run. And she's going to own this like she should have owned it in '09, but she bailed to go to work for Denver Chamber of Commerce, and it's all right here. And when people worry about David Kenny, they should worry. They should worry tremendously. But since the media don't talk about it, because the media, they're all the same. But they're not anymore in the digital world. They're headed to the dark web. And I created some platforms right here. And when you look at that, to be the next super administrator mayor by Marcus Giavanni, Kelly Brough, and Andy wrote, whatever. Denver business mayor. Now, when you look at Andy, the reason why Andy was so favored, just based off of him coming out saying, hey, I'm a GOP guy, and the content that I wrote, when we got that confirmation on June 6th, it digitized instantly. And then when they went and they put it up on the internet, or excuse me, not the internet, but they digitized their own work that courts have to do. It pattern matched the voices that were listened to, that were speaking, if you will, in the courtroom. And so when Andrew Luxon said, well, we want to just thank the city attorney's office for coming out at such a short notice, and blah, blah, blah. And they were, throwing sloppy kisses with each other. And I'm just sitting there listening to them going, oh, keep going, man. Please, somebody mention why we're not following the Spear Amendment. And I got it. After 4 elections, Michelle Horn, we haven't enforced that law in years, which will make Kelly Brough, and her little heart signs that she makes. My God, man, I feel like I'm in high school again, and the wrong people are being elected as our class president. You know what I mean? Or king and queen. So Kelly and her sleep-in boyfriend of 10 years, maybe 12 years. You don't know it so secretly. You don't even know where she lives. I know where she lives. I know where David Kenny lives, and that's what I need to know. But they don't understand that things are gonna go fucking crazy here in the next few years. And with Denver, these guys aren't gonna change anything. You're gonna see the same shootings. You're gonna see teacher strikes. You're gonna see the same shit that's been repeated since 1963. Are we that fucking stupid? Are you that fucking stupid, Kelly? So you're gonna get what you wish for, Kelly. I already know that, but because you're already the queen of bullshit. And so Mike Johnston's also the king of bullshit. But you have to support somebody. I donated $50 to Mike Johnson just so that I can stay in the conversation. I'm not giving Kelly Brough a penny, man. She can send me all the text messages to donate to her campaign, like, oh, you're hurting me, Kelly. Just looking at your face hurts me.